ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्वोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिमाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमः योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सेकेण्ड् मन्त्र यदर्चिमद्यदणुभ्यो अणुश्च यस्मिन् लोका निहिता लोकिनश्च तदेतदक्षरं ब्रह्म सप्राणः तदुवाङ्मनस्तदेतत्सत्यं तदमृतं तद्वेद्धव्यं सौम्य विद्धि. So in these two sections of this second chapter, the Upanishad is presenting the central teaching called Paravidya. This has been introduced. The subject matter of the Mundakopanisad is a Paravidya plus Aparavidya. Of course, Paravidya is the main thing, but then this is how it has been introduced in the first section of the first chapter. Dve vidye veditavye parachaiva aparacha. And Aparavidya, of course, we talked in the first section itself. And then later Paravidya has been initiated. Paravidya is called this Jnana Yoga, that is in the second chapter. First chapter, of course, has a Paravidya. Definitely we defined Aksharam, if you remember. We defined Aksharam there and also Aparavidya also has been mentioned. And in this second chapter, well, definitely it is mainly Paravidya or Jnana Yoga. In which, what is this Paravidya or Jnana Yoga? Well, basically one pursues the knowledge of the cause of the creation. And the cause of the creation is Brahman, called Aksharam here in Mundakopanisad, and which is equated with the Atma, of course. And therefore Atma is the cause of the creation, is a Paravidya. That knowledge of Atma as a cause of creation is called Paravidya. Anyway, and what is this cause of the creation? That also we have seen the four features of that. That the cause of the creation is Ekam, cause of the creation is Saram, cause of the creation is Nityam, cause of the creation is Satyam. So basically cause must be one. That is very simple to understand. And cause must be the essence of the entire Karya Prapancha. Cause must not undergo any change. It should be unchanging. That is Nityam. And cause is Satyam. Well, cause can never be negated. Effect can be negated. Well, and effect is born and gone. Therefore it is Anityam also. And then effect can never be the Saram. Effect can never be the essence. And effects are many. Right? Karyams are many. From one cause you get many effects. Anyway. And so, and okay, this is Karanam, and the Karanam we call it as a Ishvara or Aksharam, etc. And knowledge pertaining to that is Paravidya, of course. Now the question will be where this Karanam is located. Ishvara, where is it located? So far as religious domain is concerned, well, Ishvara has a location. Because Ishvara, in the religious domain, Ishvara, which is Jagat Karanam, well, it is looked upon as a particular name and form. And if it has a particular name and form, definitely it has a location. And therefore in a religious domain, always Ishvara has a location, Vaikuntha or Kailasa or whatever. But here, when we are saying it is Jagat Karanam, and it is the essence of the whole effect, whole world, then such a essence of the entire world, which is the cause of the creation, that Ishvara, is located where? And that is, if you cannot say now a given name and form, because there is Karanam. Any name and form is a effect. So if you say Ishvara is a particular name and form, it is no more a Karanam. It is actually a effect. And therefore Karanam, which is the essence of the all names and forms, cannot be located at a one place. Then if it is located at one place, it will have a given name and form. If it is a given name and form, it is no more a Karanam, but it becomes effect. And therefore definitely now in a religious spiritual domain, well, Jagat Karanam Ishvara, which is the essence of everything, it is available in every name and form, not a given name and form. The essence is always available in all the names and forms. Essence, so basically essence must be behind everything, and for that yesterday we saw the example also, like gold is an essence of all the ornaments, all the names and forms. Then gold has to be behind all the forms. Gold must be present in all the names and forms. So therefore here now no more location, because it is available in all names and forms. So Karana Ishvara in a spiritual domain is everywhere. It has no specific location. It's an essence behind all the names and forms which are changing. The Karana, which is non-changing, which is Nityam, is present in all the names and forms, effect, which is changing all the time. Anyway, now if it is available in all the names and forms as essence, as a non-changing thing, well then it must be available in a given name and form called this body mind sense complex also. Now to bring it to me, ultimately Jagat Karanam Ishvara, we have to look like this. So Karanam Ishvara must be present in me also. If Karana Ishvara is present in this name and form, then it is present in this name and form also. And this is a very big progress. To jump from here to here, that is where Vedanta is actually. And we are seeing, of course, we will go back and forth, of course, and look into the thing that it is one thing alone. Anyway, so now we are turning attention for that Karana Ishvara to ourselves. We are paying attention to ourselves. And so basically here also now here where is it available? That's the question. Now this body mind sense complex is all names and forms, and it is subject to arrival and departure. They are changing, and so you keep on dismissing these names and forms and come to that non-changing witness principle, witness consciousness principle within us, which is called Karanam. Because Karanam is a non-changing. That is what we have thought of. And therefore, so here in a given name and form, which is continuously changing, there is something which is non-changing. And that is the I am. That is non-changing. And that is basically a witness consciousness, witness of all the changes in this name and form. You are able to, I cannot tell, but you are able to tell what all changes have occurred in your body, in your mind, what is occurring, what is going, what is arriving, what is departing, everything you are able to tell. So, well, your own experiences reveal that you as a conscious being is non-changing, witnessing all the changes in given body, mind, sense complex, which are names and forms. And so a essence of this given name and form, particular this body, mind, sense complex, is this witness consciousness principle, which must be Jagat Karanam. Because Jagat Karanam is an essence of all names and forms. Therefore, it is an essence of this name and form also. Then what is that essence in this name and form? Is this consciousness, witness and consciousness principle, which is non-changing, and therefore it fits into the definition of cause. Cause is all the time non-changing, and effect is all the time changing. So here, if you analyze, something is all the time changing, including senses, including your prana, all the functions, all and the gross body, mind, and your memory, everything keeps on, your knowledge, everything keeps changing and changing, your emotions, everything changing. But I, the witness consciousness, witness of all these changes, is non-changing. All the changes basically, to be experienced, requires a non-changing principle. And otherwise you will not be able to, with reference to something which is non-changing, you are able to tell what are the changes. And therefore I am, with the witness consciousness, is a witness of all the changes in a given name and form. That must be the cause of that must be the cause. And that witness consciousness may be the Jagat Karanam Ishvara. Okay. So we have crystallized to this Sakshi Chaitanyam consciousness principle, witness consciousness principle, which is available outside as the changeless existence principle. How do you arrive at that? That we have already discussed in section 1 of this chapter itself. But in short, I am telling you once again. We have discussed elaborately in the first section of the second chapter. We are right now in the second section of the second chapter. And I have told you what we discussed as Jagat Karanam Ishvara as existence principle is the consciousness principle that is discussed in the second section. So what is discussed as a Sat, Jagat Karanam, is discussed as a Chit in this second section, right? But anyway, I will tell you once again that how, this non-changing witness consciousness fits into the definition of cause of the entire prapancha. Well, that is fine. But then to say it is a cause of the entire prapancha, that consciousness should be outside also. Well, that consciousness is available outside as a existence principle. So then existence must be the cause of the entire universe, you mean? Yeah. How? Well, again, definition of cause: ekam, saram, nityam, satyam. Ekam. Exist. What do you find in this world? Please tell me, what do you find a common denominator in the entire creation? Even two things are not similar. Ekam, when you are saying, you are trying to find a cause in the creation. What do you find which is one and which is available in all? That must be the cause. It must be one and available in all. Existence. Existence. Start from the space. Space is, and then everything. And then I am not going in detail. Everything has that isness. Means that isness must be ekam, pervading all, must be the cause, one. But that does not suffice. The definition of cause, we have to see all the four factors. Existence we have found as a one thing which is available in the creation, most common denominator. But it should be the essence also, saram. Existence is the essence. What is the essence of this? Is existence. Nothing. If you take away, essence means what? If you take away the essence, the given thing won't exist. That's called essence. And therefore, existence is something, if you take away, then this name and form won't remain at all. And therefore, that existence which is available in everyone, which is one, must be the essence also. And that is essence, also. And existence, third thing, nityam, that existence does not undergo any change. What exists may change, and it is changing, but that exists does not change. What exists keeps changing. What exists means given name and form. Oh, that is changing, right? Like this name and form exist, is, clip is. Okay, now you break the clip or you change the shape, etc. Well, you will give some other name because the form has changed, but that existence continue, right? Existence, isness continue. And then again you break into powder or something. Then again isness continue. Oh, that shows in the given fleeting names and forms, changing names and form, which is the existence Well, is nityam. Existence is something which is non-changing. So existence is common to all names and forms, pervades all the names and forms, essence of all the names and forms, and it is non-changing also. Please understand that today's lecture, this existence consciousness, we are not able to relate. This is third thing. Fourth, satyam. Existence is something which can never be negated. Even I should not say that. Anything which is negated becomes non-existent. Right? And therefore, if you say existence, well, it is satyam. Therefore, sadeva satyam. That's how Chandogya says. Sadeva satyam. Existence is something which anything can be negated. Existence can never be negated. After negating existence, it becomes non-existent. Then where is the question of an existence? Anyway, so existence, which is pervading all the names and forms, which is one, there is, you cannot, somebody please tell me how you call one existence. What is the difference between isness of this clip and this clip? Please tell. Any difference you will tell me, it does not pertain to the existence, it pertains to name and form. Any difference you will tell, it pertains to name and form. It does not pertain to existence. And therefore existence, which is one alone, which is the essence of every name and form, which cannot be negated and which is non-changing, even in all the changing names and forms, is the cause of the creation. That existence is available in this body, mind, sense complex, in this given name and form, not merely as existence, but also as consciousness. But how can you say that existence and is this consciousness? How can you say like that? I feel there are two shoots in there. So, well, there is existence also and something consciousness. Sir, I am is the most common denominator. I stands for consciousness, M stands for existence. And therefore, I am has a one entity. It is called Samanadhikaranyam. It is Samanadhikaranyam means it is in apposition. These two words denote not two things. It is one thing. That's your experience also. I am. When you say I am, do you think it is one entity or two entities? I means the consciousness. M means definitely this existence. Well, that is non-changing principle in all the states given to the human. Available in the human experience. It is available, and that is how I am able to say that I am conscious of never changes. What I am conscious of ever changes. What I am conscious of ever changes. That I am conscious of never changes. Means that consciousness does not undergo any change. That's how I say I am conscious of this. I am conscious of my mind. I am conscious of my body. I am conscious of this. I am conscious of now a changing mind. I am conscious of this emotion. Now I am conscious of that emotion. Now I am conscious of my powerful eyes. Now I am conscious of my weak eyes. So all names and forms keep changing. That I am conscious of never changes. And therefore that I am, well, which is the most common denominator in this given name and form, is this existence consciousness principle that is available outside as merely existence principle for some reason. Here it is available as not just, but that existence principle is here, the same existence principle is here also. How can you say? I have already told you, it is ekam nityam saram, the essence of all names and forms is one existence. And therefore, if it is available, the existence available as a essence in this name and form, the same existence available in this name and form also. And not just existence, due to some reason. You know the reason, I am not going to tell you. Due to some reason, that existence is also the consciousness, and that is non-changing principle. And therefore, what is available as existence and consciousness, that alone is the cause of entire universe. Could you follow now? So this is how we have to think. So that I am conscious of is a therefore turn your attention to non-variable awareness. Turn your attention to this non-variable consciousness which is there in you all the time. All the time means what? All the three states. All the three states. Please try to prove that consciousness is not changing. It's enough. The consciousness is not changing means existence also is not undergoing any change. And well, that existence also is available outside, which is most pervading, which is essence, which is non-changing, which is cannot be negated, and that then this consciousness alone is the cause of the entire creation. So okay, that's our experience. I told you in all the three states. So not only throughout this Jagrata Avastha, even when the world disappears, when you go to dream, the world goes, this time goes, this world goes, this space goes, but a new world will appear with a new time and new space. Naturally, the time is quite different there. Well, in a dream, in a one moment, you are grown up and you have completed education also, and you married and you have a children and grandchildren, everything within 1 minute. So okay, and therefore that time scale in a dream state is very, very different. You are in a dream, you are suddenly landing into a chapati of Bombay, eating bhel. Yeah, how can you go? Because you are right now here and it takes a lot of time. You have to book the ticket and you have to undergo a COVID test and what not. And afterwards you have to do journey and then reaching Bombay and then, oh my God. And so, but in a dream, you find yourself within a moment, find yourself in somewhere in India also and doing things, etc. So that shows the time scale of a world, of a waking world and time scale of a dream world is very, very different. So, well, so in a waking state, time is different, space is different, world is different, objects are different. In a dream state, time is different, space is different, and and the world, objects are also different. But still, I am conscious of never undergoes a change. Even time changes, you are not changing. Now, please connect with my yesterday's talk in the evening. The cause of the time and space, well, it is beyond time and space, which exists even before time and space, which is never affected by the time and space. Could you follow? And therefore, so I am conscious of waking world. I am conscious of a dream world. I am conscious of a dream time. I am conscious of a waking time. That shows I am is something which does not undergo within a time scale. And not only that, further proof, even when time and space resolves, you continue, right? And therefore, you must be a nityam. I am, that consciousness, existence is nityam, non-changing. Satyam, cannot be negated, which is essence of all the three states. Without consciousness, where is the state? Where is the question of a waker, dreamer, or a deep sleeper, or a waking world? If consciousness is not there, waker and the waking world do not exist. If consciousness is not there, or existence is not there, where is the question of waker exist? Waker is. Waking world is. So that I am, who is an existence principle, consciousness principle, well, is the essence of all the three states. Waker, waking, dreamer, dreaming, dream world, and deep sleeper, etc. Well, or in blankness. So I am conscious of blankness also. Well, I cannot declare that in a sleep. To declare, I require speech in the mind. So, well, but I cannot declare it, but I am aware of the blankness in deep sleep state. That's your own experience. I need not have to say. And that is how you are able to say when you get up that I did not experience anything. Well, the absence of all experiencing, I was conscious of. Right? So, I am conscious of does not undergo any change. What I am conscious of changes. That I am conscious of never changes. But Swamiji, okay, that I am consciousness, that is okay. But then I am existence also? Yeah. So you are not existent in all the three states? You are saying you are consciousness, but you are not existent? No, Swamiji. Yeah, I am there and I am conscious of both are there. Well, that's true. And therefore the existence which is here, which is non-changing principle available outside, is the same as consciousness. What is Sat is this Chit. What is Chit is this Sat. Consciousness alone exists. That's my own experience. Existence also does not undergo any change, or consciousness does not undergo any change. And therefore, this is called Tvam Padartha Vichara. So basically, Tvam means this Jiva. The implied meaning of this Jiva, the Lakshartha of Jiva is this consciousness existence. Lakshartha of a Jiva is this I am. And Vachyartha, the direct meaning of this Jiva is I am and you add something. Yeah. So when you say I am a human being, it is a direct meaning of a Jiva, Tvam Padartha. When you say I am, I drop every other thing. Because I am is this consciousness, right? That I am conscious of, that is this I am. What you are conscious of, that you are adding again in this Tvam Padartha, which you should not do. You should put a break after I am. Then you are having a reality about yourself. When you say I am a human being, gone. The human being is a given name and form, which is not you, which is ever changing. You are lumping together with the reality of you, that is I am. So just I am is a most common factor. You just think during a waking state, how many times you must have told I am. You might be changing whatever is after that you are adding, that you keep on changing. I am disturbed, I am this, I am that, including I am having a bad prarabdha, etc. Everything. But that I am is the most common factor. Try to replace I am, or please try to find a difference between just two I am. You cannot find, unless you add a changing name and form into that. You are adding a changing name and form into a non-changing reality. You should not do. This is called Chit Achit Granthi. Name and form is Jadam, which is not you, which is Anatma, which you are lumping together with a non-changing reality called I am. And therefore, Jivatma Vichara is paying attention to this consciousness which is you. Now, this is the first stage. Now, second stage. Next stage is learn to equate this consciousness not just with the body or mind or thought, but this with the non-variable consciousness. May you learn to equate with Paramatma, which is Karanam of this entire universe. So consciousness in me is basically Karanam, is the cause of the entire universe. And for that you will have to take a most common denominator, that I am the existence which is non-changing, non-variable, and that existence I am experiencing everywhere as a non-changing factor. And therefore that is essence that is non-changing, that cannot be negated, and that is one. Well, so that existence, this consciousness principle is the existence principle, non-variable existence principle outside, which is the cause of the entire universe. So next step is equating this Jivatma, which is a consciousness, well, equating with the Paramatma, which is a Karanishvara, is a second stage. And then, but that is okay, but still, I'm not able to feel that I have expanded so much that I am pervading everything. I don't feel like that. It is not a question of feeling. That you don't feel is because that I is just placed here. When I say I, in my eye, the body also shines equally. Then where is a question of the whole world? Well, definitely resides in me, or etc. etc. So, well, I becomes just consciousness. That is the question. When you say I means, again in my mind human being comes. If given body, mind, sense complexes, then there is not a question of that you are Karan. You are effect. You are not a cause. When you say I am a human being, means you are effect. And you try to then equate the whole world. You are the cause of the entire world. Well, that will never. That is how the first step requires that you are not a human being. You are just a consciousness. You have to understand the implied meaning of I. That's what I was telling you. Not a direct meaning of I. A direct meaning of I is I am, and later you have to fill up the gap. That's a direct meaning. But just I am is the reality of me and nothing else, which is available in all the three states of experience as a non-changing principle, as the essence of all the three states. And that is this consciousness, because consciousness is the conscious, this consciousness that I am, well, that is even aware of the blankness, well, or non-experience of anything in a deep sleep state. It's also, I am conscious of a waking world, I am conscious of a dream world. Therefore, I am that, that consciousness principle, which is conscious of everything in the three states, is the non-changing factor. That is the implied meaning. And in that consciousness, which is I, entire world resides. Because I'm existence also, I'm consciousness also, entire world resides. And that is, of course, Shastra is doing for us, equating Jivatma with Paramatma, which we call Mahavakya. So the Karanishvara, which alone is appearing as everything, and that is how many? Well, naturally it is one. So one Karanishvara alone appears as a Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jalam, Prithvi, etc. And that Karanishvara with a given name and form is Akasha. Karanishvara with a given name means existence consciousness plus a given name form is Akasha. That existence consciousness plus another name and form is a Vayu, etc. etc. And well, you can extend it to this body mind sense complex also. Well, basically this body mind sense complex also is nothing but existence consciousness plus name and form called physical body, or a subtle body, or even a causal body. So, and that which is continuously changing. That existence consciousness, which is non-changing, plus name and form, which is changing, is this entire world. So this is the progress of the Upanishad. And so when you equate this Jivatma, the essence of the Jivatma, which is consciousness and existence, with that Karanishvara, is called Mahavakya Vichara. That's the Aikya Jnanam. And so in every shloka, basically, first consciousness will be identified, and means you are just consciousness and existence, nothing else. This is to be identified. Then it is equated with the Ishvara, and so you can keep on adding a given name and form, and come ultimately again to this name and form, and you can say, well, that Ishvara, which is just Karanishvara, which is nothing but the existence and consciousness, which is Ekam, which is Saram, which is Nityam, which is Satyam. Well, you keep on adding different names and forms, which are all the time changing, and you find the entire world is there. So, Sarvam Ishavasya Vidam Jagat. This is the development of the second mantra. Now we have to see the mantra. What I have told you is just essence of this second mantra. Anyway, What it says here, Anuho, Aniyan, Mahato, Mahiyan, etc. Yad Archimat. Well, let's take first this. Yad Archimat. Archimat means it's another word for Avihi, which is used in the first mantra. I have told you Avihi is nothing but a light of consciousness or self-revealing consciousness. That is the meaning of Archimat. Archi means a light actually. Mat means it's a possessive affix. One who is possessing light means one which is a self-revealing consciousness. So what was the meaning of Avihi in the first mantra is the meaning of Archimat in the second mantra. Self-revealing consciousness. Okay. And now, okay, where do you find this light of consciousness? Where is that self-revealing consciousness? Yat anubhyaha anucha. At least it is subtler than even an atom. Means it is not visible to any one of the organs of experience. It is not available for perception. That's all. It's not available for perception. Not available to the sense organs. So, to anubhyaha anucha means subtler than the atom. By telling, well, the five sense organs, but see what happens is this five sense organ can experience Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha. They belong to what? They belong to name and form. They belong to the world, name and form. So, Karana Ishvara, well, basically, it does not have any of these attributes. Existence and consciousness is free of all the attributes. But Swamiji, that is an attribute. Existence is an attribute of Atma or of a Ishvara, which is Jagat Karana. Existence is an attribute and consciousness also is an attribute. No, it is not an attribute. It's its nature. It's not an attribute. If you say it is an attribute, well, definitely you need something, some base, some substance in which the property resides, attribute resides. It's not like that. So, well, definitely this is a Swarupa. This is a nature. So, well, not that Atma has existence. We will talk about that. Not Atma has existence. Atma is existence. Not Atma has consciousness. Like this has green color. It's not like that. This has green color. So it's a property and substance. Both. Property resides in a substance called clay. That's not the thing. So Atma is a substance. And in which consciousness and existence. Well, those two properties. No. It's a nature of that. It's a Swarupa. Atma means existence. Atma means consciousness. That's all. Anyway, so, well, Karana Ishvara does not have any property called Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha. And therefore that Karana Ishvara or that consciousness and existence, well, which is not available for perception. Then how Shastra is going to communicate? It says it is subtler than even the atom. It is, so by using word Anuhu, Anu means a small thing. We may think that Karana Ishvara is a very small. It is not small. It is Ekam, pervading everything. And therefore it is not small. It is subtler. So, well, Shankaracharya very nicely says, Anuhu means it is subtler like Anu, not small like Anu. Not small in dimension. It is subtler. Why do you call subtler? Because not available for perception. Anything which is not available for perception is called subtler. But why it is not available for perception? Because it does not have Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha. And so that sense organ can perceive them, can grasp them. And therefore, we want to say it's not an object of perception. And so it is subtler. To convey the idea of a subtlety, well, we say it is Anuhu. Anubhyaha Anuhu, subtler than even Anu. Anu is not visible. And therefore it is even subtler than the Anu. Well, subtle means here not visible, but like Anu means, it is not visible, it's invisible and it's not small in size. But how can you say, let's take it and say, Atma, well, the Jagat Karana Ishvara is very small. Why in size? Why? What is your problem? Even saying that. Because Shastra does not agree. I want to tell that. Of course, we discussed this, if you remember. While talking about Atma, we have discussed one of that Purupaksha. Of course, I was in India at that time. I said some people say Atma is Anuhu. Some people say Atma is of a Madhyama size, of a size of the body. Right? We dismiss all these things. But anyway, Shastra itself dismisses. How? In Kathopanishad, very beautifully in first chapter, second section, 28th mantra, Anoho Aniyan Mahato Mahiyan. It is subtler than the subtlest and even bigger than the biggest. Any given thing simultaneously can never be smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest. Can never be. Then why are they are saying like this and confusing? It wants to convey it has no dimension. It has no dimension. A given thing is smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest means it is everything, it is all pervading, it has no particular dimension. That's what it wants to convey. And therefore, Anubhya Anushcha, so Anu, as I told you, it is subtler, and Cha also, so you can say bigger also. So it's like Akasha also. So this is up to this is Jivatma. Yad Archimat Anubhyascha. Anoho Aniyan, etc. Anyway, so this is one thing. Yad Archimat Anubhya Anuhu. I'm sorry, not Aniyan. Yad Archimat Anubhya Anuhu Cha. This is indicating the implied meaning of Jivatma. Archimat, self-revealing consciousness. When self-revealing consciousness comes, you should not go beyond yourself. You should not go beyond yourself to make the consciousness an object of perception or anything. Consciousness, self-revealing consciousness is this I. Nothing else. And therefore, outside means you have to search for existence. That's another thing. We don't want to go. And therefore, we have already done it. So basically, Archimat indicates yourself. Self-revealing consciousness. Therefore, that is the Jiva's Swarupam. Basically, after doing a Viveka and, keeping yourself away from this all given name and form, which is all the time changing, you are merely the witness consciousness, which is not changing, which is basically a witness of all the changes occurring in this name and form. That is Archimat. And therefore, Archimat indicates a implied meaning of Jivatma. Why you are saying like this? Because I want to ultimately prove that Mahavakya is going on right now. So I have to take both the sides. Jivatma is Paramatma. And therefore, I have to at least first show that there is a description of a Jivatma in its own nature, taking implied meaning by Bhagatyaga Lakshana, etc. So basically, this Anubhya Anucha, indicates, Archimat indicates Jivatma. And Anubhya Anu, it is subtler than means it is never an object of perception. Means if it is anything which is not an object of perception, will never be an object of any pramana given to the human being. Because the sense organs are the basic pramana. Anything which is pratyaksha is the mula pramana. Pratyaksha is the mula pramana. It's the strongest, I should say, strongest. Maybe I don't know whether this is a proper word or not, but let's use this is a mula pramana. And it's a very basic, the means of knowledge given to the human being. Not only here, in a transaction also, in a court and everywhere, the witness is considered to be, his statement is considered most powerful because he has seen the incident with his own eyes. So perception is the basic pramana. Anyway, and here it says, Anubhya Anu, subtler. And by that, it says it is never an object of perception. Means it is not an object of inference, not an object of presumption, not an object of, any other pramana, upamana, etc. And therefore, it is not an object. Oh, if it is not an object and still it is self-revealing consciousness, oh sir, that is you. That's subject. If it is not an object, if it can never fall into an object of any pramana, then it must be a subject. And therefore, Anubhya Anucha also indicates a Jivatma in its own nature, that is subject. So self-revealing consciousness is the meaning of this Archimat Anubhya Anucha. That indicates Tvam Padartha. Tvam Padartha analysis. This is Tvam Padartha analysis. Now jumping. Tvam is equated with Tat. Immediately. Yasmin lokaha nihitaha lokinascha. Yasmin, that in that self-revealing consciousness, Yasmin means in that self-revealing consciousness which we talk to you, which is the real nature of this Jivatma, which is Archimat, which is even subtler than the subtlest. Well, Sarve Lokaha Nihitaha. Now equating this Jivatma to Paramatma. So Yasmin, in that consciousness principle, Lokaha Nihitaha, all the 14 lokas in the form of these names and forms are based. It is Jagatadhar. We are going to clarify further, but take it right now. So it is Vishwadhara. It's Adhara, it's a support for everything. It's a basis for entire universe, which consists of 14 lokas. So Sarve Lokaha Nihitaha. All the worlds are placed. Nihitam means placed. They are based, etc. So it is, therefore this consciousness must not have any dimension. If it has a dimension, it cannot be a basis for whole universe. Like you see the table. Table has a certain dimension. Then table can accommodate something of a smaller size, right? Of a smaller size. You can place this lamp, or you can place the computer and this, etc. But if I tell you I want to place the whole building on this table, it is not possible. So here it says, Yasmin this Chaitanya, Sarve Lokaha Nihitaha, all the lokas, and definitely the bodies also in the varieties of the lokas, and all the minds, all the gross bodies, all the subtle bodies, etc., all are placed. Means that Chaitanyam must be free from the size. Body has a size, and even the world has a size, and the things in the in this world also have a size. Everything has a size, but this consciousness, which is nothing but the self-revealing, and I would like to go back to the first mantra also, which is said as a Sannihita, which is most proximate to me, and which is self-revealing and most proximate to me, and which has manifested in the heart, well, as a very I. In that I consciousness, all the worlds are placed. Definitely, that I must be free from the size. If it can accommodate all the worlds, means it is free from the size. So, consciousness is in the body, or body is in the consciousness. Now you yourself can decide. Well, it is not, and suppose if you say consciousness is in the body, correct, but still it is not limited by the boundaries of the body. Then if I utter these words, I remember 5 points of the consciousness which we have discussed, which is given by one Acharya. Very beautiful it is. Consciousness is not a part, product or property of a given body. Of a body. Is not a part of the body. Any part of the body is located in the body. Part is within the body. Any property is also in the body. And if it is a product of the body, well, definitely that is also non-separate from the body. So basically, consciousness is not a part, product or property of the body. It may be subtle body or it may be a gross body. That I am not specifying. Second, consciousness is not, if it is not a part, product and property of the body, then it is independent of the body. Part, product and property are not independent of the body. Part of the body is not independent of the body. Product of the body is not independent of the body. Product means a karyam. Karyam can never be separate from the karana. What is going on? Anyway, so if it is not part, product and property, then it is independent of the body. If it is independent of the body, consciousness is not limited by the boundaries of the body, by the size of the body. And this is third. And then the third thing, consciousness is basically independent, And it is not limited by the boundary of the body. It pervades the body, makes the body sentient or alive. Sentient, let's say sentient, makes the body sentient. And this is a third. Then fourth, so if it is independent of the body, whatever may be the condition of the body is not the condition of the self, is not the condition of the consciousness. So even after fall of the body, consciousness does not fall. Consciousness survives. Atma survives the fall of the body. And then fourth, well, consciousness needs a medium called body for transaction. In absence of body, you will not be able to recognize the existence of the body. It does not mean it is not existent. You will not be able to recognize the existence of the body, because body is ultimately the medium in which the consciousness manifests and transact as a jiva, etc. So these are the points I remembered. And so basically, so what is this consciousness? All these 5 points I can tell. And then antar bahishya tatsarvam vyapya narayana sthitah, etc. So basically, when consciousness is inside and outside, and like that it has been told elsewhere also, and therefore consciousness has no boundary. Anything which is simultaneously inside and outside, definitely it has no boundary. What is inside cannot be outside, and what is outside, suppose if it is not inside, then definitely it has certain limitations, certain boundaries. Well, if simultaneously, if anything is available is inside, outside like that, well, it has no boundary like a space. And therefore, anyway, this is, so basically, but outside, yes, that's true. The outside you cannot experience this consciousness as consciousness. Outside you experience consciousness as existence principle. That's all it is. Because existence is all pervading. Well, so outside you experience existence principle, but basically consciousness alone is this existence, and therefore that is the Jagat Karanam, etc. So Yasmin, well, Yasmin means in this consciousness, which is existence principle, and all the worlds are placed. Now all the worlds are placed. How? Like a clip is placed on a table, then there are two things. Then if there are two things, definitely one is limited by other, and the other is limited by the first one. And therefore then where is the question of telling it as all pervading? And therefore how these worlds are placed in a consciousness? Consciousness and world are two different things. Consciousness, that is Jagat Karanam Ishvara, and world are two different things. That is other religion. That's a Christianity. God and the world. Yeah, they say God has created world. So Karanam. God and the world. Allah and the world. Muslims. Vedanta does not say, they say don't use two words. God and the world. Either use one thing, and better to use is God. Not God and the world. You can say at the most, no, we want to use two words. Okay, God in the world. Okay, that's okay, God in the world. Then give an example. You are sometimes giving some abstract ideas, like the wave in water, not a clip in a table or on a table, not like wave in water. Wave in water. Wave stands for all names and forms, the world. Water stands for the essence. Ekam, Nityam, Saram, Satyam. Right? Other is fleeting. Waves are fleeting, ever changing. But the essence of every wave is this water. This is one, which is the essence of all the waves, which is not changing, and which cannot be negated. You can negate the wave. You need not. It is changing automatically. Yeah. So the worlds are placed in a consciousness like waves are placed in water. Not there are two things. This is one thing. Therefore, don't use God and the world. It is God. It is just water. It is just water. This is appearance, ever changing, negatable, non essential, and many, but just appearances of one water. Consciousness or existence alone, which is Jagat Karana, which is Ishvara, alone appears in all these names and forms, which are like waves. Many, non essential, non tangible, but and anityam. Well, they are changing and which are negated also. So, this is how we have to understand this lokaha nihitaha. Anyway, and then it says tadetad aksharam brahma. Well, and that karana ishvara is aksharam brahma, which is nityam. Aksharam means nityam. Ksharam means which undergoes, I mean, which will die, etc. So which undergoes a destruction. Ksharam. Ksharati means actually it is dying. Aksharam. That's a very popular word in Mundakopanisad for Brahman. And so tadetad aksharam brahma, well, which does not undergo any decay, means which is nityam, we have already told you, and which is Brahman, which is all pervading. So time-wise limitless, space-wise limitless, etc. And tadetat, means that karanam, everyone says, all religious people live in this world. When they want to talk about Ishvara, their fingers go up. Tat. Tat means which is paroksham, which is not available here. That's all. Which is not available here, which transcends everything, this ephemeral world, and somewhere else, in some loka. Indicated by word tat. Tat means that Ishvara, Jagat Karanam, Ishvara, which you believed as a tat, is actually etat. Tat etat is a fantastic thing. Because after telling this much also, Jagat Karanam Ishvara, when we want to talk about, we raise our finger. That Ishvara. No. Tad etat. That Jagat Karanam Ishvara is this most intimate one. Sannihitasya, which is most proximate one, which is a non-changing witness consciousness, well, which has manifested in this heart, which is available as the most proximate I. That I is tadetat. That Jagat Karanam Ishvara is this. Etat means this. Is this. Or you can say that Jagat Karanam Ishvara is this also. Etat means this, means I can tell this also. Or that Jagat Karanam Ishvara is I. So indicating tadetat. Aksharam Brahma, which is nityam and which is all pervading. Brahman means which is all pervading. Is this, in this, all the lokas are, all the worlds are placed, all the bodies, gross, subtle, all the bodies are placed, all the worlds are placed, like waves are placed in water. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.